Merry Christmas, everyone. I hope you guys had a great Christmas with your family and friends. Today is December the 26th, as some will call it Boxing Day. And when I woke up this morning, this was the first article I saw online. And it says, "Is Social Security going bankrupt?" Now, if you've been paying attention, you see this article cycle through every now and then. And I think it is misleading because Social Security is not going bankrupt. However, if nothing is done within the next few years, then seniors are going to see a 25% cut in their Social Security benefits starting in 2032, 2033. So we are a few years away from that, but it is still a big deal. And so today I wanted to talk about 6 proposals to fix Social Security. And specifically, there are 2 things that Congress has been avoiding. There are 2 Social Security fixes that Congress has been avoiding that would solve this problem permanently. But to make that hard vote, to bring that to the floor of the Senate to the House and vote on it, politicians have been avoiding the hard decisions on that. So I'm going to talk about those. But first, I'm going to talk about 2 Social Security fixes that is going to increase your benefits and put more money in your pocket as part of the overall fix to Social Security. My name is Wami. I am a government benefits expert. For 15 years, I've been helping seniors get the retirement benefits they deserve. I create content on Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, food stamps, and other personal finance topics that affect seniors and their retirement. So if you're new to my channel, welcome. I am glad you're here. Do me a quick favor, go into the comments and let me know your city and your state. If you've been watching this channel for a while, welcome back. I am glad you're here. Thank you for your continuous support. Let's dive into this. Today's presentation is in 2 parts. The first one, I'm going to talk about proposals that I believe will put more money in the pocket of seniors. And that makes sense because a lot of seniors are struggling, and anything that is serious about putting money in the pockets of seniors, I want to talk about, and then I am going to talk about the fixes to really address the Social Security long-term problems that we all are aware of, but they are not doing anything about it, which is so frustrating. So let's dig into it. So here are the proposals that will fix Social Security. Now, a lot of this have been presented to the president from Congress, both House and the Senate. And so in terms of 2026 and the president looking at what he wants to do. Now, here's the thing. President Trump made a lot of changes to Social Security in 2025. There were a lot of changes that he made. But here's the thing. Those changes fell short of what he actually promised. And today I was reading an article that actually looked at, what did the president promise during the campaign and what did he actually deliver on, and did he do what he said he was going to do? Well, let me share this with you, and then I would talk about it next, and then I'll talk about proposals to put more money in your pocket. So this was an analysis that was done again by the Monthly Fool, and it says President Trump made changes to Social Security in 2025, but they fell short of what he promised. And so now going into 2026, what can the president do to put more money in your pocket? Well, the first thing I want to talk about is the Social Security Expansion Act, because it will put $20,400 in your pocket right away. The Social Security Expansion Act is introduced by Senators Sanders, Warren, and others, would boost Social Security benefits by $2,400 a year. It is an extra $200 a month for every beneficiaries on Social Security and disability benefits. Now, here's the thing. It is going to impact poverty. The proposal is projected to lift millions of seniors out of poverty, addressing the fact that 26% of seniors currently survive on less than $17,500 a year. So that is supposed to push you closer to 20%, $20,000, because those who are getting about 17.5 are then going to be pushed closer to $20,000 a year. Now, another thing is going to do is try to fix Social Security for the long haul, which is to lift the cap on Social Security taxation. And that alone is going to help fix Social Security for the next 75 years. And so by doing that, it is going to improve the solvency. But that is not only the thing that the Social Security Expansion Act would do, it is also going to help with the minimum benefit. So those of you who are getting about $1,300, $13,000 a year, if you're getting $1,000 in Social Security, $200, $300 a year, this is going to boost you to about $20,000 by giving you an extra $5 to $600 a year in Social Security benefits, because they're going to peg your Social Security benefits to 125% of the federal poverty level. These two proposals, giving seniors a $2,400 increase right away and then increasing the special minimum benefit so that people who are getting less than $300 will get $500 or $600 more in Social Security benefits. Those two proposals is going to be life-changing, put more money in the pockets of seniors, and help seniors that are struggling get a little bit of relief. So those are the two proposals that I think the president should get behind. Because it is truly, in my opinion, having done this for 15 years and knowing the proposals that have been put forward in the Senate and the House, this particular bill, it to me is at the top of the list. And if the president wants to make meaningful changes that's going to help low-income seniors survive and thrive, this is the bill that the president should support. Now let's talk about the big elephant in the room, which is why, when I started, I asked the question, is Social Security going bankrupt? And here is the thing. This graph shows the Social Security Rainy Day Fund, otherwise known as the Social Security Trust Fund. And basically, it is supposed to be the place that they put all the surpluses that happen with Social Security. So as you know, Social Security is a pay-as-you-go system. The people who are currently retired are supported by the people who are paying into the Social Security system. And so when there is excess, when there's more money being paid in than is going out, there is a surplus and is put in this Social Security Trust Fund and invested in special government bonds. Well, the Social Security Trust Fund had a surplus for a long time, and now we are spending down that surplus since about 2010. You can see it went all the way up, which is when we were putting money in the Rainy Day Fund, and then we started spending it around 2011 when the money that was coming into Social Security was now less than the money that's going out. There's a whole lot of explanation for that. I don't want to get into that today. In another video, I will explain why the Social Security Trust Fund is running out of money. But before I do that, if you want to stay on top of news and updates, anything in and out of Congress that could affect your retirement, your finances, your benefits, then join thousands of seniors that are receiving 1 or 2 text messages from me each week. Text the word insider to the number you see on your screen, 443293080. The service is free and you get the benefit of timely updates and other important topics that I think you should be aware of that affect your benefits and your retirement. So text a word insider to 443293080 and join my text list. So the elephant in the room is Social Security Trust Fund running out of money at some point, because now we're spending down the money that has been built over the years since. So why are we in this situation? Well, it is because primarily less people are contributing to Social Security to support the growing number of retirees, which are currently stands at an all-time high. Never before has more people been collecting Social Security than we've seen right now. At the same time, less people are contributing to the Social Security Trust, Social Security bucket as a whole, and so you have this problem that shows that depending on who you are listening to, by 2032, 2033, we are going to run out of money, and from estimates, this one says it's 23% cut. I have seen other estimates that show a 25% cut, meaning that everybody is going to be impacted. So then the question is, what can be done? Well, politicians have been avoiding the 2 biggest ways that they can fix this, and then they are proposing the easiest way out. And in my opinion, the easiest way out is to raise the retirement age again. Remember, in 2026, the full retirement age is going up by a few months to 67. So if you were born in 1960 or later, you are going to get a full retirement age of 67. That is the age at which you get everything you've paid into Social Security. By increasing the retirement age to 69, it's not going to solve the entire Social Security problem. It's only going to solve 20 to 30% of the problem, but then it's going to impact seniors the most. People who have worked 40, 45, 50 years and are getting ready to retire and are being told that they have to wait longer in order to get their full retirement benefits. Of course, you can retire at 62, but you're going to get 30% less money if you had waited to your full retirement. So, this is the first proposal. I think it's a terrible idea. The second proposal is to cut your COLA already. If you've been watching my channel, you know how frustrated I am with the tiny Social Security cost of living adjustment you got in 2025. And then now in 2026, if you look at the last, I have given you the COLA from 1979 all the way to 2026. As you can see, and this is actually from the monthly full. I want to make sure they get credit for that. You can see that since 2021, COLA went from 1.3 to 5.9 DUI during COVID to 8.7 at the peak. And then now it started coming down 3.2, 2.5, and now 2.8%. And so the question is, why would they want to cut COLA even further when it's not even enough? Well, the COLA money comes from the Social Security pot. And so even though it is tiny, it is still money that's being taken out of the Social Security system to pay cost of living increases. So by reducing your COLA, you keep more money in the Social Security system. That is why they want to do this. And this will only address 30% of the problem. And so it is not a solution that is so significant that it solves the problem in a very, very meaningful way. I mean, 29% is nothing to sneeze about. But at the same time, it doesn't solve the problem. It is inadequate in terms of a solution. So now I want to talk about the two fixes that Congress have been avoiding that I think will fix the problem. The first one is to increase taxes. Payroll taxes now are split between employees and employers at 6.2%, each overall at 12.4. The proposal is to increase Social Security taxes, raising it to 16.5. That should say 16.5. Now over basically, they want to increase it. The minimum I've seen is that rather than paying 2.5 to 2.5, 6.2 to 6.2 increases it to 6.5, which should then be 13%, But the proposal I have seen that can make a meaningful change will increase this to 16.4%, a full 4% increase in the payroll taxes over a 6-year period. That is intended to fix the problem for 75 years. And over the years, the payroll tax, has been going up. But one of the proposals that has been put forward that I think will fix the problem and is probably the most fair way to do it is to increase the income limit. What does that mean? Well, in 2026, up to $185,000 is going to be subject to Social Security taxes. And that limit has been going up, as you can see, year after year. But it is not progressive in terms of taxes. It hits people at the low income, high more than people at the high income. Because if you make more than $180, $4,500, you are not going to pay taxes on anything above that. But if you make less, then you are paying more of your income in taxes. So somebody that makes $216,000 will pay about 5.1% of their income in Social Security taxes. But if you make less than that, you are seeing that anybody making less than the cap is paying 6.2%, 2%. So if somebody is making $1 million, they're going to pay a tiny percent of their pay in Social Security taxes because the cap is $185,000. And anything above that, they don't have to pay Social Security taxes on that. So when you look at the amount of money they make overall, and you look at how much Social Security taxes they actually pay, and you take a percentage of that versus their overall income, they are paying a growing tiny percentage. That's why payroll taxes when it comes to Social Security are regressive. Progressive will be when you pay more as you make more. So increasing the limit or taking the limit at all out of the picture is going to solve the problem for 75 years. There's two proposals on the table. One is to remove the cap at all and just let everybody pay social security taxes on everything they make or move the cap to 400,000 so that you pay social security taxes at two levels. The first 185,000 and then anything above 400,000 and then the middle is called a donut hole. And over time, that is supposed to close as the Social Security tax threshold continues to increase because of inflation. This proposal, in my opinion, is the best because 91% of people will not see their income tax go up. But people who make more money and make way more than the cap will pay more taxes into the Social Security system, and it will help save Social Security for 75 years. So, what would that look like? Somebody that is making 50,000 will pay $3,000 in Social Security taxes, but somebody that is making $500,000 currently will pay just $10,000 in Social Security taxes. But if the cap is moved to 400,000, that person is going to pay $31,000. And that makes sense because remember, the person making 5,000, 50,000 is paying 31,000. The person making 500,000 is making 10 times the person that's making the 50,000. And so that 10 times of 3,100 is $31,000, right? And so it makes the tax system fair, but it also fixes a problem. And the problem is that Social Security is going to run out of money in the trust fund, and it's going to lead to a 23 to 25% cut, and we don't want that. So let me know what you think. Which option do you think is the best to fix Social Security? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. And then finally, if you've been watching my channel, I've been talking about Medicare a lot and the fact that I want to help 100,000 seniors get peace of mind about Medicare. And I have been recommending that you guys call our partner chapter Medicare, and the thing is that some of you are thinking, why do we have to call chapter? What is so unique about chapter? And why are you in partnership with them? Well, the thing is that I have been doing this job for 15 years, helping seniors get the retirement benefits they deserve. And this is the first time I'm partnering with a Medicare advisory company. Why? Because these guys are the real deal. They are not there to sell you anything. Their opinion is unbiased. They have access to all 24,000 Medicare plan. They actually the only company that has access to all the plans. And their job is to help you figure out one question. The current Medicare plan you're in that you are about to move to in January, is it the best plan for you? Given everything that has happened this year, all the changes to original Medicare and Medicare Advantage, knowing all the changes that have happened, the price increases, plans that have moved out of certain states, prescription drug increases, out-of-pocket cost changes, all those things when you put them in totality, are you in the best Medicare plan for you? They are going to help you answer that question. And here's the thing, my opinion is that you owe it to yourself to get that question answered because otherwise then you are in for surprises. And for a lot of people, the question may be that they see your plan that you're in and they tell you that you are in the best plan for you, like they did with this person who said, I just reviewed my Medicare plan through Chapter and they told me I was in the best plan for me already. That is what I mean when I say peace of mind. But here's the thing, your situation could be different and you may have to switch to a different plan. Here's another feedback. Thank you for sharing the chapter information. I called over the weekend and was able to register for a different Medicare Advantage plan that had all my doctors and covered my medications. See, so they were able to get into a better plan for them. Another one, I took your advice and called Chapter. I signed up with SignEnter. Previously had Human, I was able to get a better plan with Sign. I signed up 10 days ago and I responded to that. And I said, that's great to hear. I am glad the information was helpful for you. And there is more This person said, "Thank you for commenting this information. I usually put the chapter information in the comment section. I reached out to the number and they found me such a better plan for 2026. I just wanted to say thank you for helping those of us who are out here trying to figure things out and so forth and so forth." These chapter guys are great when you call them. These are the people, some of the people you'll be talking to, and they trusted A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau. Tons of 5-star reviews. Some of them I've just read to you, and they can save you $100 on Medicare during the Advantage Open Enrollment period, which is also coming up starting January 1st to March 31st. And so my point is that you owe it to yourself to have these guys look at your plan and see if you're in the best plan for you. If you are, they'll tell you, and then that's it. The call is free, the service is free, the opinion is unbiased. And if you are not in the best plan for you, they'll help you switch to a better plan. So give Chapter a call today, 539-252-147. And if you like what you heard today, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. Merry Christmas again. I hope you guys are having a wonderful time. I look forward to seeing you in another video tomorrow. Thank you.